Hey everybody, it's Martha. I'm back. Thank you for joining me. I'm so glad you could be here. Probably not my best side. And I'm not wearing makeup, and I never do anything without makeup. But you know, we're stuck inside and I don't really care. It's kind of freeing not to be wearing makeup. So there you go. So today we are going to continue working on the giveaway journal, and I'm trying to carefully reach around the iPad, which is on a tripod, which is on a side I'm not used to it being on, so if I knock into you, I apologize ahead of time. Here is the cover we made, and I did use a glue stick on it, and yes, it does peel up, but I'm planning on sewing around this anyway. And I have not done the inside yet because I still don't know what I want to do with it. I may use fabric, I may use paper, but I know I want to put a couple pockets in it. So I'm leaving the cover until I'm more settled with what's going inside. I did select papers, and I'm going to merge a couple of videos together, so it may be a little haphazard because in the last couple of videos I wasn't in the best mind frame. So I may whiz through some of the stuff and you may not hear anything and just see things if I fast forward it. Anyway, what I've been doing is I've been working on the first signature. And I've done a few sample things in the first signature that I am going to then show you in the second and third signature. And I figured that way you're not sitting through a bunch of boring stuff, but you can see what I'm doing. I have these two bins here. These are little bins from IKEA. They can hook on to the side of my rolling carts that I use, but they're really good for keeping the ephemera and stuff in here. This is ephemera that was pre-made, and I pulled a bunch of it out yesterday, and I thought it would go well in this journal. This is ephemera that I've been working on, and bits and pieces from the Butterflies in Blue kit from Artie Mays. I decided to go ahead and purchase that because we're talking butterflies. So, and you notice how I went with the butterfly theme instead of the flower theme. So that's where that stuff is. So one of the things I did was I took, and I don't have a sheet with me right at the moment, but I took the big placemat sheet and I cut it up and I made little envelopes. And these are the little envelopes. I made them on my envelope board, making board, folding board, whatever you want to call it. Now, I measured exactly when I cut and when I did the scoring, and they all came out a little bit different. I don't know why. You know, it's just the way those things go. But what I decided to do was make them flip-ups so that they could be journaled in. But you can also tuck something behind here. A little, you know, a little card could go behind there. A little card could go behind there, and a little card could go behind there. Now, whoever gets this journal, if you wanted to glue these shut, you could also put a card inside there instead of using it for a journaling space. But I kind of liked that idea, so I went ahead and decided to do it that way. So I did that, and I did some decoupaging, which you may or may not see in the previous videos. I haven't posted those yet, just so you don't get confused. I'm deciding on whether I'm going to merge those with this video or just jump ahead to this video. I did put some Edith Holden page in, more decoupaging, some gesso work I did, some stamping. This is a ghost image off of the napkin, and I just decoupaged that onto this pocket. I did some belly bands yesterday, and I can show you how I did those. And some more of these. This is, these are envelopes that I had made previously, and I had several of them, and those flowers very much sort of kind of go along with these flowers. So I decided, and of course there's butterflies. So I decided to use these envelopes as pockets. They will be little pockets that we can make tags to go into. Or you could, you know, hide things in there that you've journaled or whatever. A little Tim Holtz tissue paper. I did put some masking, the green masking paper in. And then this is the flip side of this signature. And more Tim Holtz paper there, some stamping, some more decoupage with the ghost napkins, which I'll probably add more stuff to that. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. You could also write on this. I do believe if you used like a ballpoint pen or a fine tip permanent marker, you could journal on that. And you can journal on this as well. This is gessoed, and you could write right over those notes if you wanted to. The other half of the Edith Holden, and some more stamping. And I made this pocket. I made 3 pockets and 3 journaling or belly bands out of 2 pages that I glued together side by side. Well, I didn't glue them, but I put them side by side and I decoupaged on top of them. And that's how I made the 3 pockets and the 3 belly bands. So what I'm going to do is show you on this one how I did the envelopes. Now on this signature, I have cut down my pages and made them fit, and I have not done that on the other 2 signatures yet. So I am going to put these here like this. And maybe I'll put that one on top because I like the butterfly. So I just used my art glitter glue. Let's see if I can remember how I did this, because I think I did this day before yesterday. And I did some other things yesterday. So what I did was, here's the envelope, right? And I decide which flap I want on top, which flap I'm going to glue down, which way I want it to face. So I believe this is face up. So I'm going to take this flap, smooth it out, and all I'm going to do, I'll open it up. Hopefully you can see this. All I'm going to do is I'm going to, I don't want that too far away because this glue dries really fast. All right, so I'm going to, yeah, unclog my glue first. My allergies are absolutely killing me today. We went for a walk yesterday. We can walk to our mailbox. It's a community, so they are community mailboxes, and we can walk to them. And it's good exercise because it's uphill. But oh my gosh. Okay, let me think. Has to go this way, and you have to fold it up and do this because you have to see that you're not overlapping the bottom of the page. Okay, so I hope you saw how I did that. And then I lift it up and I make sure there's no excess glue, which there is, but you want to make sure there's no excess glue. You don't keep this folded down because it'll stick, and then you're kind of stuck. But this little space behind here is still open. So we went to the mailbox and came back, and my allergies are kicking my butt today. So you see, this can slide down inside that as far as you want it. If you want to make them really close together, you can, because it'll still open up, see, to write on. Now I can't remember, I don't think I've seen this particular method anywhere else. I like to put them mostly far apart, just a tad bit overlapping so that this is down inside. You could even put them separate like this if you wanted to, and just use that for a tuck spot. But I thought it was kind of cool to put them inside. So let's see. I think, again, I have to see which way is up. So I want my envelope to sit this way because the writing would be right side up. So I flip it open like that, and then I'm going to glue these, do not glue this part if you want to be able to tuck something inside. Oops. Wow, that was a mess. I filled my art glitter glue yesterday and I sort of overfilled it. And yeah, not a good thing. Because now it sort of just comes volcanoing out of there all on its own. Okay, now see, I did not glue this side. And what I'm going to do is very carefully just tuck that inside just a little bit. And then I'm going to put this down because you got to see if you're straight. I use the bottom one to see if I'm straight and if it's fitting where it's supposed to fit. I have a gazillion paper towels around here that are used, and I don't know what I did with them because I reorganized my room again. So there's that. There. And of course, if you use art glitter glue, you know how darn fast this stuff dries. So there's no room for messing around. So I'm pretty sure I don't want it going that way. I want it going this way. And this one, this flap was so big that it overlapped, so I tucked it down inside. And that's okay, you can do that too. So I want, I get turned around backwards really easily. Okay, so I want it that way. So I do this. So I thought this was sort of a fun way to tuck 3 envelopes. This kind of goes along. Gail, I can't remember the originator, if it was Carol Laws or who it was. Somebody did where they put 3 pockets or tuck spots or something on the page, and I sort of kind of was going along on that idea. But these envelopes are the smallest ones my envelope punch board made, and they were too big for my page. Now, could I make smaller envelopes and do that? Sure. Did I? Nope. Yeah, call me lazy. So again, these were made from the large placemat, and I am selling those online on my Etsy shop in a kit. Okay, so there's those. And then I also did on the back page, I did one of the pockets. So let me show you. Here are the other 2 belly bands. And these are from a die cut. And I just put some fancies on it. And let me see. And then these are, sorry, these are the other 2 pockets that I made. There's one. And I have some, I have this lace, it's crocheted trim, and I have these flowers that I tea stained. And I got this from Hobby Lobby when they had it. I don't know if they still have it or not. This came from Dollar Tree, and I haven't been able to find any more, but I bought a bunch of rolls when I found it. But now I'm thinking I probably didn't buy enough because I use it all the time. So that's one, and that's the other. And then I have this leaf trim from Hobby Lobby as well. And so that's the other. Okay. So I made 3 of these and 3 of these out of 2 decoupaged pages. And that did come from Carol Laws, the decoupaged pages. And she made a long strip of them, and I've done that as well. But I just did 2 because I just wanted enough to match this journal at the moment. All right, so, and I inked around the edge, and I backed it with an extra set of pages. And the reason I do that is if I'm gluing it down, I want it to be stiff enough to be a pocket or a belly band or whatever, you know, whatever it is. and I use extra pages to back the back of it, which helped a lot. It helps make it a little more sturdy. So, is it straight? Yes, for once. Okay. And there we go. So I have to keep checking that I'm filming because I have a couple of other short, well, not so short, one of them's longer, videos on my iPad, and my iPad doesn't have a lot of storage in it, so I want to make sure that my video doesn't turn off in the middle, and I'm doing all this for nothing. All right, so I have something on the front page and something on the back page, and now I want to put the belly band somewhere in here as well. And I think I will put it on this page. This page has been gessoed, and it could be written on around the belly band. So if I put my belly band here, you could actually write on around here, and I'll still make a card to slip inside. And again, this was double backed, so it's nice and stiff, and I inked around the edges of everything too. And I tend to put a lot of glue on. If you're not sewing, this will get a lot of tension on it, so you do want to make sure it's got a good amount of glue on it. And hold the top and the bottom. I can feel a little glue escaping. So it's been in the 50s the last few days, I think. And it's been a little dreary. The sun came out yesterday in the afternoon, which was nice. And I meant to go sit in it, but I didn't. I got hung up doing other things. And so, again, it's dreary again today. And it's supposed to be, I think, 82. Let me see. It's supposed to be quite warm. It's supposed to be 80 tomorrow and 80 on Friday and 49 next Monday. This weather is crazy. Spring can be really crazy here in Virginia. And if you guys are in Utah, Salt Lake City, you all had an earthquake this morning, and I'm very sorry for that. I needed a drink of tea, so excuse me while I did that. All right. Now, what else did I put in this one? I have the envelopes. I have the belly band. And I have this envelope, which I have not put one in yet. So I have those here, and all I did one day was I sat down and just decoupaged on tea-stained envelopes. And a lot of the paper I use is Antique Papery. I just adore her papers, and of course it's full of butterflies. So, but I just took the regular, the long envelopes. I don't know, are they number 10 envelopes? I guess. So I need to find a place to pop this in. And let's see. Maybe I'll pop it in right here. And it's in a different place. Everything I used to go through and put everything in the exact same place every time I did this. And I thought, I'm just going to play around and put things in different places. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, back to the signature that I've been working on. What else did I put in here? Seems I might have put something else in here. Maybe not. Memory is not what it used to be. So, no. So I have the front envelopes, the back pocket, the belly band. Where'd I put the belly band? Where'd you go? Yeah. There it is. The belly band and the envelope is tucked in the center there. So that's the second signature, or another signature, I should say. And then we will put these in the third signature. So I will. Okay, so this has a bird on it, and the way I cut it, it sort of came out. If I do it that way, you see the rest of the bird, sort of, kind of. I do it that way, you don't see the rest of the bird. You just see the beak and the eyes. And this one doesn't have writing on it, so it doesn't really. I'm going to do it this way, I think. Because to me it looks like, I don't know. That way it's just the bird head, so I'm okay with that. So I hope everybody in Salt Lake City right now is okay. We had an earthquake here in Virginia several years ago, and it was quite scary, to be honest. It's a very strange thing to experience. And earthquakes here in Virginia are different than earthquakes in California, say. They happen differently. And it's really weird because I have a cousin and some other people, other family and friends that live out that way. And their experience with earthquakes was completely different than mine. And so I found that quite interesting. And yeah, we literally can hear the earthquakes happening here. You can hear the ground rumble. So I don't know what that's like out in Utah, if it's similar or not. Yeah, even when I was cutting these out and punching them and scoring them and everything, a couple of them came out completely different sizes and shapes. Like you can see this one's a little wider than this one. It's so bizarre. I don't know what and I measured them. They were all 5 by 5. So, you know, if you have trouble with an envelope punch board, no sweat. Just use it. Just use what you've got. I am not by any means a perfectionist because, you know, this isn't supposed to be stressful. And if I was a perfectionist, I would stress. And it's not supposed to be stressful. So there you go. Do pick up your extra glue that seeps out though. You do want that off of there because when you fold these babies down, you want them to be able to flip up for writing in. And if you don't wipe off that excess glue, you're not going to be able to do that. Okay. And got the pocket. Oops. And I can show you all how I did this if you'd like. Because can you really have too many pockets or belly bands? Probably not. But it's really easy, and if you like decoupage, it's a good way to use them up. And then, like I said, we'll have to make, I want to make a tall journaling card for in here. I like to just give this some pressure while it's adhering. And then, let's see. This is just a piece of notebook paper out of one of those notebooks you can get. Like, I get them in Walmart, and they're not very expensive, $1 or $2. And I just took it apart and tea stained it all. So, let's see. Where do I want the belly band? Maybe I'll do it right here in the center. This page is kind of wonky to write on anyway, although you could still write on it. So let's do it right there. So not everything is closed down here yet in Virginia. Supposedly the state parks are still open, but in many states they have closed the state parks already for those people that either live in their RVs or travel in their RVs and have not gone home yet. Florida state parks are closed. New Mexico state parks are closed. I believe New York and Pennsylvania state parks are closed. It's a mess out there, people. It's a mess. Oops. Okay, so that one's going to be, if I decide to keep this page in the center, it'll be in the center. What I did do with some of these is I did take this ginormous doily, and it's pretty big, and I just folded it up at the bottom. It's not really big enough to do a pocket. You could fold it up big enough to do a pocket, but I didn't. I just folded it up. These other pages, I just tear off where I want to. Now I do have to put one of the envelopes in. Am I still recording? I am still recording. So I have these 3 left. Oh, come on. Don't think I'm going to use the purple one because it doesn't really match what I'm doing. I like this one. Of course, this one may be more appropriate. Yeah, I use that one. Okay. And these will go back in my bin for a later time, a later journal. Where do I want the envelope? Let's see. I'm going to put the envelope right here. There we go. So those 3 are done as far as those things that I prepared. Now, as I said, I do have a lot of other ephemera. I don't know whether this will go in there or not. These were previously made. These are little bags that I purchased. Have no idea where. I think I got them on sale at Hobby Lobby. And I did the decorating previously to this. These are some book pages that I collaged on. And as you can see, I use a lot of the antique papery papers. A lot. And these are just the book pages I collaged on and cut up. And those could be pockets. These I previously made, like previously, like probably last year in 2019. And I don't know if I'm going to use those in here or not. I have not decided yet. They're a bit bulky, and I don't know if I'll use those or not. I really like these, though, so we'll see. Some of these papers are mine. Some are Rachel's. Some are, most of them are antique papery or mine, I think. So, yeah. So there's a lot more I could still use. I do like these little bags. So we'll do those too, and butterflies. I have all these butterflies I've been fussy cutting. Some of them I printed out on vellum, and I have a plan for those, and that'll probably go in my next video. And some of them are just on paper, and there's a very noisy airplane outside right now. These are from Artie Mays. And this is from a die cut. And these, I can't remember which person, which I got those from. I will look and I will try to remember to link everything in the description box below. And then of course, like I said, I do have a bunch of stuff from Artie Mays, the tickets and these little things I printed out on paper and some little booklets to make. So I have a lot to do. These little things I just love. They may just go inside each other for booklets. I don't know. Tags. But I have to do something. I forgot to print on the back of them. I meant to before I cut them up, and I didn't do it. Yeah. One thing I did want to show you also is when I print out, oh, they were here somewhere. When I print out pages, oh, that's not it. That's another project for the next video. Oh, Martha, where are they? When I print out a page, and this is on cardstock, but you can do this on paper. This was a mistake when I was printing. I have made a tea-stained, I scanned a tea-stained page, and I went into Word, and I put the lines in it, and then I saved it as a JPEG. And so now, whenever I want to print on the back of something, I can do that. And I print on the back, I print on cardstock, and then if I want to decoupage and cut out tags, it's already got a backing on it. So there you go. All right, let's work on quickly, because I'm at 31 minutes. Let's do this little project of, and you've seen this. You've seen Gail do it. You've seen Rachel do it. Oh, I better put my pin in here before I don't have any glue. Get in there. And this is not the appropriate pin, so it doesn't always keep it safe anyway. And I was going through my stuff yesterday, and I found a bunch of Elmer's Craft Bond Extra Strength Glue Stick Permanent Bond. And you have to make sure it says Permanent Bond, because some of it's like children's school repositionable stuff. And it works really well. I'm pretty pleased with it. So, and I did find my mat. My mat was hiding, oh my gosh, and it's under everything right now. I did find my mat, and I'm sorry for any glare this may cause. I do have the lights on because it's a dreary day outside. So here's 2 pages. And I try to put the straight edges of the pages together, not the part I tore out. And this book was glued, not sewn. And so, yeah. So this is a David Baldacci book, so don't look at what it says, because it might not be nice. It might be naughty. We don't want naughty. But I can't help what's on it. There, I'll just cover it up with some pretty Tim Holtz stuff, right? And then I have some of these, and I have to reach around you to get things to collage with, because I didn't organize well. There you go. Sure. Okay, here's some more of the pages that I was trying to show you. Sorry if I jiggled you a little bit. So I printed out Rachel's beautiful Andrea Artie Mays Butterflies in Blue, and then I printed my tea-stained paper with the lines on it on the back. So now these can be pages as well. They did have to be cut down because, you know, they have A4 pages over there, and it's a different size. So when I printed, I hit fit to page, and it left a little bit of line at the top and at the bottom. But that's okay. You know, your pages don't have to be the exact same size all the time. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this, and because this is clear right here and sort of transparent, I'm just going to, where's my book? Where'd my glue book go? All right. So I think I'm on screen. Oh, I already took the cap off, Martha. Now I have a handful of glue stick. Yikes. Yeah, I'm kind of liking this glue stick because it is going on smoothly. And it's, not wrinkling my stuff up. I really like it. I have to admit, I like it. All right, so we're gonna glue this, and it's very sticky. And I do make sure that I'm doing my edges, all of my edges, very carefully. And I do the center of my page, so my 2 pages are glued together first. And then I work out from there usually. So, let's see. Yep. Okay. And there is no rhyme or reason, really. I try not to have too many of the same pages together. And I'm still recording. So I guess I should have done one of these ahead of time, and I didn't. It's probably really not going to be dry enough to show you. But when I get it done, I will demonstrate virtually, I guess. We'll pretend. We'll pretend that I'm cutting it apart, but it'll be too wet to cut apart. So, but I'll show you how I cut it apart and got 3 belly bands and 3 pockets out of it. If I can remember how I did it, because, you know, like I said, that was yesterday. Or actually, I think it was the day before. I'm going to stick that right there. We can overlap it with something. My hands are getting sticky. Yes, they are. Okay. Uh-oh. You know, if you don't want this white paper showing, rip away from the edge of the paper. It's a rule I try to follow, but I often forget my own rules. Because, you know, there are no rules. It's just ideas. So I like to use the straight edges on the straight edges of the page. Makes it simpler. And oops. So my husband, he always works from home. It's nothing new. But he gets very restless, and if he cannot like go out and do things during the day, here and there, run an errand, run across the street to the store, whatever, he gets a little crazy. We're at that point. We are so at that point, it is not even funny. So, yeah, it's getting a little... I went through this last week. I could not get my crafting mojo on for nothing. I was sort of just floating along, spending a long time in bed. I was just hanging around, watching TV. I'm a very good stay-at-home person normally. I am. Isn't this is butterflies? No, this is moths. Something moths from Antique Papery, I believe. And I will double check everything and list it below. And very pretty. See, you can't even tell that's a moth wing, actually. If you just rip part of it off, which is great for collage, even though it's huge. I mean, that piece is just huge to use. My glue stick keeps trying to escape. Okay. I'll put that right there. Just tear this off the bottom. So I went through that last week. I was not, you know, it's stressful. This is a really, really stressful time for people. And, you know, it's no joke, people. It's just no joke, for sure. So it's not surprising that people are struggling. I read something today where it said, somebody said that on Facebook. And I've been there. That was me last week. But I started sitting here and doing stuff a couple days ago, and it all got better. So, you know, maybe we're sticking our heads in the sand, and maybe we're hiding from it in our craft rooms, but who cares? You know, so what? Okay, I'm back, right? And I finished off camera because I didn't want to run out of space on my iPad, and I wanted to finish up and show you all what happened. So these are the 2 pages that I started with, and this is what I decoupaged over the top of them. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take, this is one of the glue pages, and I'm going to glue this down in the center. You want to make sure you get all around the edges and the top and the bottom really, really well. It doesn't matter if it's right side up or upside down. And I line it up on the center, so it's covering that center seam, so that's no longer a weak spot. And then I take another page and I fold it in half, using the top of the page and the bottom of the page to line it up. And then I tear it in half. And I put half on one side and half on the other. And that helps support the back. Along the bottom again, and a straight edge there. this one. So there's going to be a lot of fast forwarding in this video, which I hope is okay. There, now your back is reinforced, and you can, I had to wipe my hands off. They got so gluey, wasn't even funny. Okay, so there might be a few little blank spots here, but that's okay because you can cover them up with a focal point later on. I got over the edge on that one. But you can square it up. You can, I did that sticky side out, so that's going to have to dry. And I set it aside and I let it dry. I just set it aside, let it dry. Then you can use a paper cutter to square it up if you want to. And just, you know, get those rough edges off. So you can do that. And then what I did, let's see if I can figure this out. What I did was I cut, because I wanted the whole height of this, I cut 2-inch wide, and I'm not going to do it now because the glue is still wet. I cut 2-inch wide, 3 of them, strips. So that's 2, 4, 6. And then I cut this into 3s. And that's how I ended up with 3. And if you use 3 signatures in your journals all the time, it's a real easy way to get sort of matching belly bands and pockets. So I did 2 inches, 2 inches, 2 inches. Then I cut 3 strips here. This is 8, I believe it's 8.5. Hold that thought. We'll move that. And this is 8 inches tall. So I took like 2 in somewhere around 3/4-ish inches, and I cut it, you know, I cut it like 2 3/4, 2 3/4, and whatever was left was the 3rd pocket. And then you can embellish them however you want and put focal points on them or anything like that. So that's how I did the belly bands and the 3 pockets for the 3 signatures. So that's it for today. I am going to close out this video. I'm going to try and edit the 3 that I've done together. And we will be back with more decorating the giveaway journal. And I have a couple other things that I've done that I want to share with you, and we'll take it from there, okay? I hope everybody has a beautiful, crafty day. Please stay in, stay safe. Don't go out and touch things. Wash your hands. Wash your hands. You're supposed to get under your nails. Dr. Oz says wash your hands this way, wash your hands this way, wash your hands this way. At least 20 seconds. If you can do a minute, do it. It can't hurt, right? So stay safe, everybody, and I hope everybody stays healthy and well. And thank you for my new subscribers. Hi. And thank you to everybody for being here. I really greatly appreciate it. Take care of yourselves. Peace. I love you all. Yeah. I'm not used to you being on that side. Love you all. Take care. Happy crafting. Bye, everyone.